TBT versus B rank. Of course, I didn't look at the map because why would I? But this is probably attitude, I think. It is only important that we know where the ramp is, to be fair, because after that we can recognize the map. So we're gonna play our usual factor expand into 2 fact into Goliaths with vultures first. Of course, it like we actually didn't have many opportunities to play our like normal standard build because very often our opponents are doing some weird stuff. So yeah, I hope we can finally start playing versus those normal fast expos. Although on the other hand, I guess you guys are facing a lot of those weird openings yourself, so maybe this is actually more reliable, relatable, I mean, for you. Reliable as well. This opening is really reliable, but wow, this is to be really good stack for a long time. Doesn't matter that much. Okay, so yeah, this is attitude. Let's put our barracks over here. So F4 on my ramp, F3 in my nut. And we're gonna scout now. I'm gonna remind you, the way I scout is that I press right click, then shift right click to another corner and shift right click to another corner. This way I can always be uh, moving with my scouting SCV, right? So it's not stuck. So for example, if my opponent will attack me, if I only right click to the corner, I might forget about it or something like that. But in this way, I'm not gonna forget. Of course, we stop making SCVs at 16 now to make our factory, and now we're gonna resume the SCV production, right? So factory should go at 16. Sometimes you will screw something up with your gas or something, and then you won't have enough gas, then just make another SCV and do the factory in 17, of course. You need to use some common like sense with SCV production management. The factory timing is very important, the most important thing. So you should cut something to make this factory. Okay, 2 marines. Okay, we did kind of the same thing. I noticed his marines being to the right side. Okay, he fixed them. So okay, we potentially might go in. Now let's make supply before starting to make anything else. Okay, he hits me with the barracks. Look at this guy. And his vulture might catch my STV. I'm gonna go with my vulture to support my STV. Maybe I can save it. The problem is that I don't know what he's going for. He also doesn't know. Yeah. So let's go here with this STV and with the vulture from the right side. Maybe we can figure out what he's playing. The problem is that if you don't know what's going to happen, is that I don't know what to prepare really, right? Okay. Bunker again. Wow, why everyone is playing bunker? I hope at least this guy is going for the raves. We actually don't need vultures. Let me go machine shop because right now this guy went bunker, right? So this means he's not playing any kind of heavy vulture opening, so we don't need that to defend. We don't need to make more vultures to defend. Uh, since I don't know what he's playing, I'm gonna go third flag right away. Because so I'm not making those vultures, so I have a little bit more money, right? We wait for those right now, and I would assume that he goes raves. This is what would happen on higher level if I was playing versus bunker, but I'm not sure. Okay, let me catch those. I need to supply it as well. I'm chasing him with patrol. I can actually go in right now. The game is over. We killed so much. We killed so much over here. That was insane damage. Should never happen. Let me build academy right now. Just in case. First of all, we're gonna need it in case he went mines after all. And the second, we need it for the rave opening. So let's just make it. And I'm gonna also start gas. Build more Goliaths. I don't know what this guy is doing. Doesn't seem like raves. The raves would be already in our base. So yeah, I maybe he went bunker because he didn't see my CC. I guess this is what happened. I know, we're gonna see this in the replay. Let's start +1. Just because I have money for it. And I also don't need this much gas. I can actually go and pressure him a little bit. Maybe we can do something. Let's mix scanners as well, in case those are mines that are spinning right now in his base. Let's make 2 depots at once. Okay, now he will do some damage. Okay, so lately, one guy, namely Beat, told me that he was scared to move out because of this exact scenario, right? Where you are losing a lot of SCVs. But I told him that, yeah, sure, but now you have this massive attack that he has to defend somehow after he sacrifices all his vultures. So let's see how this works for him. Let's kill the bunker ASAP because he can repair the bunker, right? If I can kill it fast enough, yeah, exactly. And now he cannot defend it anymore. And now this is completely losing for him. Yeah, so this is what I meant, Beat. If you go with vultures to counter your opponent, then you have to somehow defend the counter that is coming. Of course, he didn't have mines in this scenario, but the point stands. I had my scanners, Goliaths wouldn't die easily anyway. He wasn't happy with this loss, I guess. Okay, let's watch the replay. Okay, let's see what he played. See his factory timing. Oh, it's pretty decent. So we both didn't know what the other person is going for, but I would say in this case, if you cannot really tell because you couldn't go into his base or something, just assume that he went factory CC. And then play with this assumption. Don't make the bunker like that if you don't know this is really one base. I guess, I mean, you can make this argument that the lower the level, it is better to make a bunker, right? Because the amount of fast expands will be less, right? So people will play more to one base openings. But on the other hand, with this build, you can hold a lot of stuff without the bunker as well. Even if you would really need the bunker and you don't have it, you can always abandon your natural and try to defend on the ramp, etc. But in general, you should keep making those vultures and defend with SCV and vulture. Too bad I couldn't present. Maybe you will have opportunity to present that in some future video, but you have to trust me that usually this is the more correct approach, to just assume that your opponent plays the expo, and then if he doesn't, you need to be resourceful with your defenses. This build is pretty flexible. You can really adjust to many situations. It's just a matter of how you do that. That was very smart what he did there. Like, he used his barracks to go down, then he saw my SCV being there, so he could react with Marines and go to not let me scout his expansion and so on. So he played this part very well. I have to admit, it was actually pretty good. But now he's not producing units. Why? My third vulture, look, my third vulture is already on, right? Because, yeah, this is my third vulture. And this guy, in the meantime, only built one vulture, and the second one is ongoing. So already, he gave up completely the map control. I'm building my second factory already, but he's not. He actually has a lot of gas that he cannot even use. Yeah, I'm surprised because those are B ranks. I thought like on B rank people already play correct openings, but this is again some weird stuff. The problem with this build that he did there is that even if he was playing versus some kind of one base, this is completely wrong, and you won't be able to defend that with this build because the bunker is not guaranteeing anything. It's just buying you time, but you still need units and so on. And he didn't build vultures or machine shop at some point. So how are you gonna defend that? Yeah, I'm not sure. And then he showed me that he's another mistake. Like this is already after 5 minutes, right? So you need to assume that your opponent will have more vultures, and you go by my like through my barracks. So I'm gonna know that you are going out. Why would you be there? So now I can chase you down, and of course I'm gonna check whether you have more or not. If there were 2 more vultures, I just wouldn't go in, right? I would go back. But since there is nothing, I can kill million SCVs. Like 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 SCVs. The game is over right now. I don't know. Yeah, the game is completely over. I could it could be even done better because I wasn't producing SCVs in the meantime, right? Because if I killed 7 SCVs and I have 28, 4 more than him, it means that something was wrong with my SCV production. Probably I focused too much on this. I didn't use my hotkeys to make SCVs. If I did that, the advantage would be even bigger. But I think the most important point comes after that. So we had a discussion recently on my Discord that people sometimes are afraid to go in TVT. Like when you have superior army, you very often just need to go. And people are afraid that they are gonna get run by with vultures from the opponent, right? So this is exactly what happened in this game. I went out with my big Goliath army. I knew that he has nothing in his main, right? Because I was there with the vultures. So he only had one like single vulture at the time that he cleared my vultures in his nut. I was producing Goliaths already. My barracks was flying through his main, and he wasn't attacking me with his Goliath, so I can safely assume that he didn't really have much. Okay, so he ran by me. Sure, I will lose a lot here. Yeah, look at my SCVs. I have so few right now. But this is like how are you gonna defend it? The only way he could defend that right now would be to if he surrounds this bunker with SCVs completely, right? To be ready to repair the bunker, because otherwise I'm gonna do exactly what I did, which is to just come in and focus the bunker, right? So I can. It is important to focus the bunker here first, even though it has the most amount of HP, because I can kill this before he can repair it with STVs. For him to be ready to repair this, he would have to stay with STVs already around the bunker and just basically be ready for my attack, so I couldn't focus this down. But if he does that, then I can kill those STVs that are standing here, and we are getting even. Basically, what I mean is that there is no way of him defending this big attack without sacrificing his own STVs. Of course, if he didn't succeed in repairing this bunker, the game is over right there on the spot. But like I said, you can always just pick up SCVs one by one. You can trade this whole army for his SCVs if needed, and the game goes back to normal. And then you are playing even game, even after this vulture run by. So it's not like the vulture run by is that scary. Of course, in many situations, it would be bad to do what I did, but you have to add up all those factors. You have to like internally make those notes in your head. What he has, what did you see, what is the current game state, like how many units do you have compared to your opponent, you think, and so on. And you have to make this calculation that, okay, you just go. Sure, I wasn't even expecting this backstab from him, but as you could see, he couldn't defend that. Like, because he made those vultures, and I was making Goliaths already, my army was so much stronger that there was just no way of simply defending that. Yeah, nothing else matters in this game. He just couldn't survive that. Let's not go into the last words from this guy. Okay, let's start another one. Okay, another B rank. Protoss this time. Surprised at the amount of B ranks we are getting, actually. I don't know how many games we played versus actual C rank. I don't know if you guys actually like that I'm playing stronger opponents or not. I'm not sure. But there is nothing I can do with that, unfortunately. Okay, anyway. The game is not laggy, so that's great already. We play versus Protoss 1800, I guess. Not quite, but almost. We're gonna play our usual stuff. Factory expand, of course. I also think that so far we couldn't even play our 2-tank push too many times that I planned for the series because people are just not expanding. And I'm surprised. I'm so surprised that people play like that so far. I don't know what's going on. Very few people actually played like proper expansion builds. I think that this is the biggest surprise of the series for me, personally. I think the people opening choices. Of course, I was expecting some wonky stuff on F, E rank, maybe even D, but from C, like onwards, I was expecting completely normal macro openings. But I guess we are not seeing that. Barracks near the ramp. 12 gas. We're gonna scout now. So as you can see, I'm setting rally point here to not get blocked by my own SCVs. Marine immediately. Supply depot over here. This is our area to defend Zealot. We can already pull from gas. And as you can see nicely, we have 230 factor without any boosting, any real effort. You should really focus on getting this 230 factor every game if you can. Just copy what I do. I don't do anything special, right? I just send SCVs to my minerals in correct order, and that's it. Not even like the most correct order, to be fair. In this game, I didn't even pay attention to that. I saw a probe. I think it was probe. I didn't see, but I assume it was a probe, which means that he's probably bottom left. So if it was a probe, then we are gonna go and stay ready for him over here. So our SCV is going to him, and now we are waiting for this probe. Maybe we can snipe it. Okay. Actually forgot about supply. strength, so be so right. Okay, we have normal expand, by the way, from him. I'm happy. Now we need a bunker. Okay, he didn't see our PC again. We denied that from him. Yeah, let's make a bunker because he can attack with us with 2 dragoons right now. And let's put this vulture on the map. This is F3. Control 3 for my CC, so I have 2, 3, 4. And this is 5, but I won't use the barracks for now. Well, actually, that was a lie. I will use it because I'm gonna do this 2-tank push. That's a good opportunity to make the build. So I need around like 5-6 marines for this attack. I'm making mines here, obviously. Let me use mines in his expansions. Oh, look. This is what I was talking about. Look, I mentioned this in the last video, right? That's great that he's doing something like that. So now we do something else. Because we will attack in a moment, right? We can actually put mines next to... Like... Here we go. Actually, I started tank. I didn't want to do that. That's okay. I'm gonna start speed right now. Supply. eBay. Okay, let's attack him. Gonna have tank reinforcements. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Okay, he's microing very nicely. That was good from him. Okay, we completely out microed him. Our vultures didn't come. Let's start siege. Okay. Yeah, we abused the micro over here. Like, I'm gonna show you this on the replay, what I did. Yeah, okay. So, like I mentioned many times in discussions everywhere, unit control is king in this game. Unit control is literally the skill to learn. You just saw why. We just didn't lose anything while destroying his whole army pretty much. This guy wasn't that bad. He was actually playing very correctly and doing correct things. He knew the theory, but unfortunately he couldn't control his units very well, and that was the whole problem of his. Macro and strategy are the easiest things to fix. Unit control is the hardest, and you have to actually learn that. You cannot read something how to do it and just do it well. You have to observe other players and you have to just experience it, play it, fail a lot of the times, understand why you failed, and so on. So we're gonna see in a moment. Okay, here, yeah, I was wondering why this Nexus is actually a little bit later than it should be, but apparently, as you can see, he misplaced his Nexus. Yeah, it is misplaced. That's why, because it would be on the normal timing, around like after 3:30 is pretty normal for range expand. So everything this guy did so far, even saving this probe from those 3 marines, was super good. His awareness on the map was actually on pretty good level. Here one thing he could do was to go with this gun to me, at least check out what's going on. He actually should confirm this expansion with a gun, because he could get 2 factory pushed over here. So this is very normal, very good. Second gate, I assume. Yes. So this is completely normal, fine build. This is what you're gonna see on the like high level all the time. This as well. This is super good. This guy presents us very good knowledge of the matchup. So what he wants to do over here is to prevent me from mining this area, because if he does that, then he can expand before observer. He wouldn't even have to go with the observer in the first place over here, because then he can go straight to me the moment the observer comes out from the robotics. My idea here was that, okay, he has this gun over here, and when I attack, he will probably travel through here, right? So I wanted to put mines over here, because now potentially he cannot use this gun for the defense. Okay, I didn't even notice that I killed this gun. So that was a mistake on his part. He also ate this man. Okay, so this vulture actually did amazing work. It's insane to kill a gun and take half of HP from another gun with single vulture. It usually doesn't happen. Yeah. So he didn't have enough guns after that, or enough healthy guns after that. Of course, he will have two more soon. Again, he reacted very well over here. I didn't shoot single time with tanks, right? So that was very good reaction. Again, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, I guess. Okay, and what you want to do right now as a Terran is align your Marines in one line like that and have tanks behind them. So you will see me correcting those Marines in a moment. See, okay, now I'm kind of in one line with Marines, right? The point is that tank has one more range than gun, but Marines have two less range than gun. They have 4, and after the upgrade for gun, they have 6. So, because of that, my goal is to never allow him to hit my Marines without being hit by the tanks. And I can achieve that if the tank is behind the Marine, because tank has one more range than gun, right? On top of that, it's good to click on the guns and see their HP, but I wasn't aware that this gun is actually wounded from the mine. So because of that, I didn't click on them, because I just wasn't aware that I should click on them. Okay, now there will be a dance. We will wiggle. What he wants to do is either pick up one Marine with 4 guns, because every gunshot deals 20 damage, but only 10 damage to small units, which means that you need 4 guns to kill a Marine. Then, another thing he could do is to go for my tank, because 4 guns, 2-shot tanks, because you need 8 shots from gun to kill the tank, so he can walk up, hit, walk up again, kind of stutter step, shoot again, and kill my tank. Probably he will lose like gun or 2 maybe in the process, but very often that's worth it. Next thing. So from my perspective, I just don't want him to get free hits. So I need to be close to my Marines, but at the same time I have to be careful, because if I'm near to my Marines, then he has better opportunity to actually kill the tank if he wants to, right? So we wiggle. And another point I try to achieve is that I want to target fire single guns. That would be the best from my perspective, because then of course I can shred his guns the fastest, right? Okay. In most situations, I would have a vulture over here as well, and then you can confidently push into those, because the moment he stops, you put mines under him and so on, and you gain territory, and you can start hitting the wall or even probe sometimes. But in this case, I have like raw power. I don't have any vulture, I don't have any tricks. I only have my units that can shoot and do nothing else, right? I don't even have siege, nothing. So, and I know that my third tank is on the way, because I made third tank for some reason. I shouldn't make it, but normally it would be a vulture, but it actually doesn't matter that much. Both reinforcements are pretty good for you. It's just a matter of how you play this out. But with this information in mind that I have third tank, I didn't want to fully commit there, because I know that my third tank is coming, and the power of this army increases a lot after their tank is coming. He probably, at this point, thinks that I'm waiting for siege if I'm not uh, into him, right? So, from his perspective, he feels rushed because if I have siege over here, the game is over because he can never engage siege tanks. It's just not gonna happen. So, because of this reason, he decided to go for a tank over here, right? So, I stepped back a little bit. It actually broke his formation, look. So he has his guns in a nice line, right? He will move towards me in a second, and he has a nice line. And he should be right-clicking over here towards this area, and when guns are in range of tank, then he should right-click my tank. But he did something different, I think. He actually right-clicked my tank around here, and because I... So look at this gun. This gun is not going forward anymore. He tries to like go diagonally, but it stops because of that, because this gun kind of went ahead of him, right? Look. You see? Over here. And that's already a huge mistake, because now I know that I can just target this gun, and this gun is probably not gonna be in range to kill my tank anymore. Look. And now he felt that he has to go back, but there is no coming back from this anymore, because this gun was too close to my tank. So it's of course it's gonna die. Or almost. Okay, he saved it with 2 HP, but that gun is like basically it's dead, right? On top of that, because he was focused on those goons, now he was chasing this tank, but I have this nice body block, and the third tank arrived actually. He even managed to hit me one more time, but failed to kill the tank. I took out this goon with 2 HP, and now it's completely over, because how this is like too much raw power. And now the problem is that you cannot even go with one goon to kill this tank, because probably your goon is not gonna survive this move out, or he cannot come close enough to hit the tank anymore. So that's just terrible. And yeah, the game is over right now, because my 2 tanks are still healthy. I will keep this one always kind of in the back, waiting for my siege mode. I don't have speed yet, but I will start my siege mode immediately after the speed is done. I also kind of screwed it up because I didn't have my rally set. The rally should be right-clicked on your tank, and then the vultures will keep coming to me, so this could be even stronger. So it wasn't even perfect. It wasn't perfect play, but it was good enough. So look at me keeping this tank away, right? I don't want to give him an opportunity to actually hit this tank at all. I want this tank to simply stay alive, and in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get the siege eventually, and then it can be kept right here, and it will be untouchable. It doesn't matter how much health it has. Look, he walked up with the goon, looking like he wants to kill my tank. So I again moved behind it. And now, the moment he's using probes, of course, this is a huge advantage for Terran, because now, even if he had some army, but I can kill probes, then I can turtle and have my nice worker lead after that, right? But you can see how much of importance there is in unit control. You can have 2 players playing the same build, but they won't have the same result because they are not able, like one player won't be able to replicate the unit control. But it doesn't matter, he shouldn't play this build. He should play this build and learn this control. You need a lot of experience in fighting armies like that. This is something that you guys can maybe train with some of your colleagues, partners, friends, whatever. Basically small battles like that, like two tanks and 4 marines versus 4 goons or something like that. Those are pretty important to know those fights. Yeah, and the game was just over. So yeah, but my point is, you need to learn those unit control. You need to learn those interactions eventually, or you can start learning them right away. Just play conversational openings where you interact with your opponent quickly. Okay, let's start another game. And a Zerg, very nice. So we can potentially have all three matchups in this episode if he doesn't leave for any reason. This split at the beginning is also pretty important to learn, by the way. Don't think of it like this is some meaningless action at the beginning of the game. It's actually pretty important to do this correctly. If, like, at least the 3 SCVs should be mining from different patches, because this allows you to actually make the first SCV in the same time. But in general, you should be able to split all 4. There are even use map settings maps for training that. Yeah, but this is actually quite important. I would say on C rank you should be already just you should be doing this well enough already at C rank. I can understand that people on lower ranks are not doing that because it doesn't even sound that important, but if you want to have correct timings, you want to get ahead early uh, of your opponents, you want to get those small advantages accumulating from the very beginning, then you should just train that, practice that, because it's pretty important. Okay, I think this is Polypoid, probably. I'm not sure. So we're gonna go make our first racks at 11. This is attitude, right? Yes. Okay. 12 scout. We're gonna go 13 barracks. So we keep playing our 2 racks expand build. We see Overlord, which means this is Overpool, or I'm not sure actually. Maybe not. No, this is actually 12 hatch. Okay. So remember, versus 12 hatch you pressure from the very beginning. Just keep sending marines from the very beginning, which means that you're gonna need third depot as well. So this is 2 hatch opening. And why do I advise to do that? Because this is again opening where you have interaction with your opponent. You micro from the very beginning to learn that this opening on top of everything can also this doesn't matter. We can actually attack this overlord. We won't kill it, but we're gonna hit with 2 marines at once. It's fine. So you can practice also building from hotkeys, right? So when I will be macroing, I'm keeping an eye with my hotkeys of the progress on the units. I know which unit to build at certain point in time, right? Now I press 2, 4, 5. I see 5 marine almost done. Okay. He's gonna make a lot of links, I can tell you already. Okay, we killed a drone for a marine. That's very nice trade. Now let's gather our marines. Let's send SCV to the natural. And attack again. We have 5 marines here. That's a lot of marines. Let's start our expo. Supply. I don't need to send those right away. This sunken is, by the way, very bad because it doesn't provide you anything for later stage of the game. I can already focus it down. Let's go back a little bit. Let's attack this egg. Probably two links are gonna come. I don't want to go further into his territory. Okay, we need to start fighting. Just micro a little bit. Let's combine our marine forces. Queue up if you cannot make everything on time, right? Make already your Okay, and now there is important moment where you need to. He got speed, right? Just fight because you are not gonna get much out of it. Maybe we are even already kind of too late with our bunker. We probably are. There is huge possibility of him all-inning us right now. So just send a little bit of more of those. When this bunker finishes, it's gonna be completely fine. But you need a little bit of focus over here. And this is what is gonna happen in majority of your games. That he is gonna build those. Okay, so he's probably trying to bite me to attack this overlord. Yes. Okay, now you take all of those SCVs and you drill through the ramp. Yeah, like that. Build medics. And again, it was all of these fights were pure control. Like this is exactly what you need to start doing on the higher ranks. Those micro tricks, techniques. Actually need eBay. I forgot about it. As just like in the last game. More racks. And now I'm gonna do something like that. I'm gonna send one SCV towards him because I don't know how many links can he have. Okay, mute us already. Well, that's the thing that I forgot about. I forgot about the eBay and now it's gonna bite me. Go range ASAP. Where are my medics? I had 4 medics, I believe. Oh, okay. Yeah, and build turrets. After you build the turrets, the threat is gone. Of course, I should have my eBay much earlier. Yeah, a little bit of chaos because I forgot this eBay, but it's completely fine. He has 0 drones, I can tell you. Yeah, look at this. 0 everything, right? Because there can actually still play valid game from this position, so you shouldn't sleep on anything. Because there can actually go like all in on Mutas and try to win game with pure Mutas, which is probably gonna happen in this game. So let me just make more turrets because I know that this is his only win condition. This is his only way of winning the game like that. Yeah, but we're gonna attack him right now because we only saw one Sunken, right? So he will have to defend with those Mutas. We're gonna force him to defend with Mutas so he cannot harass us. And in the meantime, our factory is going up, and the moment we would get the vessels, the game would be over anyway, because his only choice at this moment, when he made so many links at the beginning, is to actually all in with Mutas, because he probably couldn't even afford his third base. Let's see this on the replay. Yeah, I'm happy with today's episode because I think I could present those how important the control of the units is, and you should really learn that. Focus on learning that, understanding those unit interactions, because this is actually what wins the game. This is what separates the best players from the very good ones. Like everybody can learn a strategy, everybody can memorize the build, everybody can have a good macro. Really, everybody can have a good macro because macro is the easiest thing to fix. Macro is nothing complicated. in terms of like how to do it. It's just a matter of remembering about it. But everything in this game is a matter of remembering about it. And macro is not different. When you have a lot of money, you just have to have this priority set to spend your money, and you need to really focus on spending your money. Your money is going too high, you know that you need to know the steps that you have to do, but you just need to learn them once, memorize them once. In unit control, this is completely different because you have many different scenarios. You have to have a feeling for it. It's not teachable. It's not like I can explain in theory how it should be done. I mean, I can a little bit, but then you have to do it yourself to understand it really. So I was observing what he's doing from the X. I saw drones. So I already knew that this is gonna be a success, this kind of attack. We even managed to kill one drone, which is huge. At the beginning, killing one drone is extremely good. And look how many marines we have already. It's 5. To beat 5 marines, you need like 7 links. 6 links are not gonna do it anymore, because unless you have speed. With speed, sure, but without speed, 5 marines are gonna kill 1 or 2 links before they can even engage, and then the rest is gonna die for like 1, maybe 2 marines. And this is also something you need to know from experience. It's very hard to tell me, for me to tell you what exactly you should do to win those small fights. You need to test it yourself. Over here, for example, I know that the Sunken is something that is gonna save him the game, so I know that I should focus on it. And because I have already 6 marines, to kill 6 marines you need some good amount of links without speed already. Usually 420 is when the link speed kicks in. In this game he was a little bit late with that. Okay, so it's 420 and the link speed is almost finished but not quite. Also, in situations like that, notice that the more I drag his drones from the mineral line, the more minerals he's actually losing, mining time he's losing, right? So all those things add up. Now I moved back to connect with my reinforcements again. Killed another drone. And now actually I should be aware that his link speed is gonna be finished, and it was a good time to move back. So that was a mistake that I kept pressuring over here. That was unneeded and potentially it could lose me the game, right? Because look, Zerg is actually never completely lost in those situations because their Spire is really strong time. I mean, they have really good timing of the Spire, and they can be a threat to you. Of course, he's only mining gas with 2 drones, so that was a mistake from him, I guess. Let me actually rewind a little bit. Okay, in this moment I lost all my marines, and now I know that it's gonna be potentially hard defense, right? It's gonna be tough. So I should immediately cancel building this CC and put down the bunker. Why bunker over here, by the way, and not here or anywhere else? Because this is touching the CC, meaning that links have troubles surrounding the bunker because it's surrounded from one side with the CC. On top of that, it's near the ramp, so I can put my marines over here and other over here, and they will fight together when he would like to run by. On top of that, it will also cover a lot of those minerals. So this is multi-purpose bunker, and it's pretty good to have it in position like that. I still didn't react in time. Like, maybe very good Zerg player would cause me a lot of troubles over here. But for example here, just sacrificing those links for 1 SCVs is actually already salvaging. Giving up any potential damage you could deal to me over here. The moment the bunker is finished, the game is over. It's good to still keep like a SCV or 2. Of course, I didn't know whether he's massing links, but in my mind, I know he's massing links. you need to think in those categories because let's think about two possibilities. If he's making links, having those SCVs over here will save you the game because you will be able to defend. If he is building drones, your advantage is still so big that it doesn't matter that you are not mining with 2 or 3 SCVs. So there is no way that keeping those SCVs over here is gonna ever be bad. Even one SCV like that is huge because he has to kill it first, and you could see how many links died before he was able to do that. Of course, in this game, I forgot my eBay, which is becoming a theme, I guess, kind of. Of course, the eBay should be going before the third racks, right? So, yeah, over here, I should be, instead of this, I should build eBay, and this eBay actually should be built a long time ago. Ideally, you would like eBay at like started at 5 minutes, the, the latest. But even 450 is usually the timing that people tell you to make it. But 5 minutes is still probably okay. Also, he didn't have money to build all his mutas at once. He could potentially have it, and imagine that 6 mutas. He has now 6 mutas. My eBay is just starting. Like a very good Zerg can just murder you there with mutas. So that was a big mistake, and on A or S rank, potentially I could lose the game. But this guy was just didn't have enough money, or Overlord as well, I guess, to make all those mutas. And now it's just a little bit too late, right? Because now I'm making my turrets. Okay, he still did some damage, but this is not remotely close to what he would have to do here to win the game. And another point, like, you have to be conscious of this as well. Like, by the way, the sunken is completely wrong because it won't save you. One sunken is not gonna save you. It's better to just not make a sunken and put everything into army. Anyway, you need to recognize that since he made so many links and mutas are pretty fast, there is no way that he ever built drones, right? So you just need to survive. So just build as many turrets as you think is good in this situation and start making factory, because the moment you have Vessel with Irradiate, the game is completely over. Before that, he may still out micro you and cause many troubles, but the moment you have your Vessel, the game is over. Yeah, in this case, he just couldn't defend anymore. Okay, I think that's it. Today's episode was, I think, very productive, and I hope you like it. Remember, you might join my Discord if you want, and sub if you like what you saw. See you next time. Bye bye.